Bryem is a Greek-style ratatouille, and you know how much I love vegetables. Traditionally, it's made with potatoes, where we're going to keep this simple and fresh, an easy casserole for any night of the week. Hey guys, I'm Shereen with Cook This First to get started on our vegetable casserole dish. So, main ingredient, eggplant. So I know I went through this before and this is such a great tip, but actually eggplants have a female and a male version to them. How you can tell? The dimple is the male, the female is the slash. The female is more bitter because it has more seeds to it versus the male that's less bitter. Choose the male. But even so, we are going to peel this. We're going to cut it into 3 pieces lengthwise and then salt it to pull out more of that bitterness, so that way our dish is super delicious. All right, so now you just want to take the eggplant and then just slice it lengthwise into about 1/2 inch slices. Okay. Now you just want to lay them out on paper towels and then salt them. So what that's going to do is pull out the moisture, which in turn is pulling out bitterness. We're going to let it sit and then prep the rest of our ingredients. So you just want to cut the eggplant into large chunks, because remember, we're going to place it into the oven where it's going to roast and just sort of shrivel down. Shrivel down. Yes, I can talk. All right, so onto our sheet tray along with our red onions, and we have a little bit of lemon juice, just a little bit. So you just want to take your time and separate all of those red onions that we cut into chunks. So everything is in chunks here. And the beauty about eggplant is it takes on the flavors that you cook it with. So it's really a neutral flavor, so it's going to take on the lemon and the rosemary that we're going to add, and that beautiful olive oil, that nice fruity olive oil. And then I also went ahead and drained some diced tomatoes. So you want to drain them, and then just reserve about 1/4 cup of the juice. We don't want it to be too acidic. And then we have our rosemary, so fresh rosemary. So all this is super easy. Throw it on a sheet tray. We have our zest, a little bit of that lemon juice. We're gonna season it with salt and pepper and a good olive oil. Toss it, put it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes and toss it halfway through. You just wanna take your day-old bread. So you want it to be a little dried out, just because it makes the best breadcrumbs. And then we're going to put it into our food processor and just pulse it. Alrighty, so you want about 2 cups of diced bread. So by making your own breadcrumbs, and you know, how many times do you have that stale leftover bread laying around? All the time. Don't get rid of it. You get this beautiful texture that you can't get from store-bought breadcrumbs. Now you just want to place it into a bowl, and we're just going to rehydrate it with some good olive oil and parsley, season it with salt and pepper, and just put it aside until our casserole is out of the oven. Look at our beautiful vegetables. They are perfect. So they're still moist because we have all that good olive oil in there, and that eggplant keeps everything nice and moist. So now, here's what we're gonna do. So take all of our vegetables, I'm gonna transfer them into this pretty casserole dish, and then top it with our cassere. So that is our sheep and goat's milk. It's a Greek cheese. You can find it in the cheese section of most of your grocery store and specialty store. I love a goat cheese. Oh, it gives a nice tang. And then we're gonna top it with our homemade breadcrumbs. So during the summer, you could substitute for summer vegetables like summer squash and zucchini. But in the winter time, I love to use eggplant and a hearty rosemary. So it just sort of translates into a summer vegetable casserole dish. All right, cheese. Just a little goes a long way. Don't over cheese it. Let the vegetables be the star. And then now our breadcrumbs on top. So we're gonna place this back into the oven for about 8 minutes. So we just wanna toast our breadcrumbs and melt the cheese. All right, perfect. After 8 minutes, the breadcrumbs are perfectly golden. Now we gotta taste it. And sometimes I like to add some extra fresh parsley because it looks beautiful right on top. Such a pretty side dish, right? So this is your Greek influenced side dish. Yum, I could eat this whole casserole myself. Gotta wait for it to cool a little bit. Taking a big bite. You can taste that eggplant. So the eggplant is super neutral. It just takes on that beautiful fruity olive oil and lemon. It's so fresh, so delicious. You gotta try this side dish. Pair it with chicken, lamb, really anything you like, or make it a whole main dish and eat it all yourself. I know I can. For this recipe, go to the newspaper's website and check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Reach out to me with any questions you have. I'll help you out with any culinary tips. Enjoy.